if I count how many times I have failed in my life, I will probably lose count. If I count how many times I have gotten rejected from articling positions or from jobs or from anything in life, right? I will probably lose count. But if I let that stop me, I wouldn't be where I am today. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Ask Mo. My name is Mo. I'm a lawyer licensed to practice law in the province of Ontario and also in Nigeria. I create content for internationally trained lawyers and I help them navigate the process of getting licensed to practice law in Canada. I also create content for graduate students and I create content for people who are looking to settle down in Canada. Please note that whatever I say in this video is not legal advice. Today's video is going to be very juicy. It's going to be very lengthy. So guys, grab your popcorn, grab your soda, grab whatever you want to grab because I will be going into the details and I will be very raw and transparent with you guys and share my experience about how I failed the Ontario bar exam twice. Yeah, so I'll be sharing things that I've never really shared with the public before, just because I know that whatever I'm saying today might encourage someone who is tired, who has failed the Ontario bar exam, or who has failed any exam in life, or who is just discouraged. I believe that we go through this thing so that we can help other people who are also going through this type of things as well. So I know you guys are used to me being very bubbly and smiley, but in today's video, I'm going to try and be very serious. I'm not promising, but I'm going to be trying to keep a straight face and a serious face because we're talking, real stuff. So I had registered to write my 2 exams in June 2018. I had just finished my master's and I was supposed to start my articling position in London, Ontario in July 2018. So I registered to write the 2 exams in June 2018. But when it was getting closer to June, I had to be very realistic with myself and I said, you know what, there's no way you can write these exams in June because typically you get the materials for the exam 6 weeks before the exam and it's huge, over I think 2,000 pages, right, to study for in 6 weeks. So I deferred my solicitor exam to March 2019 and I deferred my barrister exam to November 2018. And so I packed my bags, I moved to a new city. I was enjoying the city, London, Ontario, a very beautiful city. Not London, UK, London, Ontario, because a lot of people think I'm in London, UK, or I talk about London, UK. I started my articling position and I was enjoying it. I loved what I was doing. I was the only articling student, so best believe they paid attention to me. Now, November finally came and it was time for me to, I almost said fly. It was time for me to travel to Toronto to write the exam. I wasn't driving, so I took the bus. I booked the Greyhound bus. Now, the Law Society only gives you 10 days, 10 vacation days while you're articling, right? And so for me, I knew that, okay, my 10 vacation days was going to go towards me writing the exam or me taking out time to study for the exam. So for my exam in November, I think I took 3 vacation days. So I took Friday off. The exam was on a Tuesday. I took Friday off. I took Monday off. So on Thursday after work, I traveled to Toronto. Friday, I just settled down, did some studying, studied over the weekend. On Monday, I just relaxed and got ready for the exam on Tuesday. And I think I had about 6 vacation days left. So I stayed with my best friend in Toronto and, she made sure I got all the support that I needed because this was a big deal, right? So writing the bar exam is a big deal. And on Monday, we went shopping, went to buy snacks that would keep my brain mentally healthy and stimulated while I'm writing the exam. Sure, I barely slept, right? Not because I was studying or anything, but I was just very restless. I've never done this before. I didn't know what to expect. So I was very restless. I remember the lady also seized my jacket. I had my winter jacket on because I was cold. I get cold very easily, right? And she was like, oh, sorry, you're not allowed to take in your jacket. So I ran back to where people were hanging their jackets. I had to, so you have a little tag. They give you a little tag. I had to give her my tag. She had to bring my bag. I had to give her my jacket. It was just a mess, right? And then I was carrying all my materials because you're supposed to put your materials in a bag. You're not, I'll get to that part later. So I was carrying all my materials in a bag. When I was coming back, some of my materials fell. It was just a whole clumsy situation. Anyways, I was able to sign in. I got into the exam hall around like 8:20. I was seated. I was already very nervous, right? Very, very nervous. I signed in, then I went to pee, I came back, I tried to settle down, just calm myself down, telling myself everything will be all right. I swear that was literally what I was doing. I was saying everything will be all right, just calm down, just calm down. And then I was calm, but at 8:30, everybody was expected to be seated. They read the instructions to us, and then at 9, we started the exam. Whew, after 7 long painful hours, right? I finally finished the exam around 6. I was supposed to go to work the next day in London, Ontario. So I ran to the bus station, took the next bus to London. I didn't get home until I think 12:30 a.m. I was so tired. I was stressed. Thankfully, I wasn't writing the solicitor exam in 2 weeks because I had deferred the exam to March 2019, so I had some time to rest, right? So the next week I rested very well. I didn't do any studying, but I was still working. I rested well, and I went back to my normal life and my normal routine. And it was time for the results to come out. I'm sorry, I have to add a little bit of drama because you all know I'm very dramatic. And so I remember my friend sent me a text. One of my very good friends, she sent me a text. I was waiting at the bus station. I was waiting for the bus. It was winter. It was so cold, very, very cold. I was waiting, and then my phone vibrated, or my phone rang in my pocket, and so I brought it out and I saw results are out. My God, my heart started beating like boom, 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 boom. I was so scared. I was really, really scared because people were asking me, how was the exam? How did it go? And I tell you, the thing about the barrister or the Ontario bar exam is that you don't know how it went. When people ask you, how was it? You can't be too sure if it went well because you don't really know. It's multiple choice, for crying out loud, and you could have just been shot by 1 mark, so you really don't know. So I really didn't know when people were asking me how the exam was. I just said it was fine, not to get anyone worried. So she said results are out. I've checked mine and I passed. I was so happy for her. I was like, oh, congratulations, oh my God, you go girl, you did it girl. We're proud of you girl. But I was still really scared, right? So I was saying, should I check it on the bus? No, let me get home. Let me get home. Should I check it on the bus? It was a battle in my mind. So I finally got on the bus, and then I was so scared. I couldn't concentrate. I was like, let me check it. I was the only one on the bus, right? They were almost at my stop. And I finally gathered courage and I checked my results. And I failed. Oh, it was the worst feeling in the world. The worst feeling ever, right? And so I saw it and I was shaking. I was literally shaking. So many things were running through my mind. What the hell am I going to tell my boss? How am I going to, what is the next step to take? What do I do now? So many things were going through my mind. What am I going to tell my boss? I only have 4 vacation days left. I took 2 more days because I felt sick. How am I going to split 4 vacation days between writing the barrister exam again and writing the solicitor exam afresh? And so I finally got down, went into my house. I didn't know what to do, and I cried. Oh my God. I don't think I had ever cried like that before. I cried like a child. I wept. 10 p.m. I was still crying. 11 I was still crying. 1 I was still crying. I sent a text to my parents. I was like, guys, the results came in today and I failed. The friend who reached out to me, the one who told me that the results were out, she was asking me, how was your result? And I was like, girl, I failed, but I'm still very happy for you. And she encouraged me, she told me it's fine, it's okay, you will do well, you get it next time. She really encouraged me. You should have friends like that who encourage you when you're going through a really difficult time. And so I cried. I remember the next day I was supposed to run a trial. I was doing my rotation, my articling placement. I had to do a number of rotations, and at that time I was doing my rotation at the Provincial Offences Court, and I had a trial to run the next day. I was a mess. How was I supposed to run a trial in that state? I definitely wasn't. I didn't have what it took to run a trial. at the time. So I went to work the next day. I looked like crap, like crap. Usually when I'm running a trial, you know, I'm always like, I have makeup on, I come correct, I have my blazer, you know, I always come correct. But that day I was not coming correct. And so I told my boss, you know, I was like, not my immediate boss, but my boss at the provincial offenses court at the time. So I told him that unfortunately I will not be able to run the trial because I wasn't feeling like it. I just wasn't feeling up to it, right? And so he understood, and he asked another prosecutor to fill in for me, which was good. Thank God for having an understanding boss. Result came out around Christmas time, and so that was a perfect excuse for me to pack my things and just go to Toronto and just spend time with my friends. My brother also came from Ottawa, so he was with me. It's always good to have friends and family beside you, you know, during a difficult time. So I was able to shake it off quickly because my friend that passed and my other friends are like, it's fine, don't worry, you write it, write the exam again in March, write both of them in March. And I was really scared about writing both exams in March because I knew how much pressure I had just writing one exam, talk less of 2 exams while I was working at the same time. But you know, they encouraged me, they're like, write both of them at the same time, don't worry, you've got this, you've written it once, you already know what the exam is like, you know what sort of questions to expect the next time, you know. So my friends just really encouraged me, and I'm glad and thankful for all my friends, even my friends in Nigeria, my friends in the US. They called, reached out, and they just made sure I was doing okay because it was a very dark period for me, right? So I celebrated Christmas, Happy New Year, we're all excited. And this time the stakes were higher. Why? Because my boss already told me that they wanted to retain me. And you cannot be retained if you don't pass the Ontario Bar exam. I was supposed to finish my articling in May, and the plan was for me to pass both exams in March so I can get called to the Ontario Bar in June. So there was literally no other option. If I failed either of those exams in March, I would have lost the job, or I was going to lose the job. That was the catch. So I came back and my schedule was crazy because I knew what was ahead of me. I knew that I had to pass both exams, and I was also working at the same time, so it was insane. My schedule changed drastically because I knew what was ahead of me, and I knew that there was no joke, there was no playing around. So the first thing I did was I went off social media for like 4 months. Immediately I got back to London in January, I deleted Instagram, I deleted Facebook, LinkedIn. I went off every form of social media, and I had this app where my parents could reach me if they wanted to, you know, talk to me. And then I only had iMessage, right, to just text people. I went to work from 8:30 to 4:30, and I got home around 6:30 or 7. And then because I was taking the bus, and then I had dinner and I slept from like maybe 7:30 until 12 a.m. I woke up around 12 a.m. or 12:30 a.m. and I studied until 6 a.m. like a crazy person. Once it was 6, got ready for work, went to work. And the people at work were also very supportive. I swear every day I thank God for their place of work because they're literally the most supportive people I've ever met in my life. A real estate lawyer, because I didn't really understand real estate, a real estate lawyer always taught me real estate. If I had any questions for any of the lawyers, I would literally go into their office and ask them, you know, to please help me with this question or help me with this topic because I don't understand. I literally had real estate classes. The real estate lawyer will sit me down and teach me from the beginning to the end. They knew my struggle. They knew that I was going to write these 2 exams and I was working as well. They knew it wasn't easy, so they were very, very understanding, because that period was maybe not the toughest period, maybe one of the toughest periods of my life, because I was stressed. When I say stressed, I was really, 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 really stressed. There were days I would break down and just cry. Why was I crying? I didn't know. Probably because I wasn't sleeping well. I had headaches. I was doing so much more than I could. There was so much pressure, right? I knew that, oh God, I had to pass these exams because I really needed that job. I had friends who took turns to wake me up because there were days where I was fagged out. I was knocked out, and they would, you know, call me, Moyo, wake up, it's time to study. My friends and my family members literally pushed me through this period. Honestly, if you are writing the bar exam, or if you're writing any difficult exam, or if you're going through any difficult time, make sure you surround yourself with friends and family, because you will really need them. You will really need them. So the day to write the barrister exam finally came. You usually write the barrister exam before the solicitor exam. So the day finally came. Remember, I only had 4 vacation days left, so I think I took Monday off. I went to Toronto on maybe Saturday or Friday after work. I rested, did everything I was supposed to do, got some food to stimulate my brain, the usual practice, the same thing I did at first. I went in on Tuesday, same cycle, signed in, did everything, wrote the exam. This time I did something different. I took in chocolate. So the first time I went into the exam hall, I didn't take in chocolate, and I found I was really tired. This is not the best thing to do, but that was what I did, because I wanted to be high on sugar. I just wanted to have that sugar rush. And so I took chocolate. I had a lot of chocolate, Snickers, Kit Kat, you name it. So I wrote the exam again as usual. I didn't have the next day off, so I had to quickly run I took the train this time. I ran to the train station, almost missed the train. The train was like leaving, guys, I'm not joking. I think around 7:05, 7:04, I was running. I finally got on the train, and then I got to Toronto around I got to London rather around 12:30 a.m. Went to work. I was exhausted, fagged out, yada yada yada. And I was supposed to write the solicitor exam in 2 weeks. I will not lie to you, I did not have strength to read all through that week because I was so tired. And I keep saying I was tired, but some of you might not really understand. Some of you might keep saying, why was she so tired? But I'm sure if you're an ITL who has written the exam, you will be able to relate to what I'm saying. So I think the next week I was able to gather myself. I studied, but I did not study as hard as I studied for the barrister exam, because I was, like I said, I was mentally exhausted. The time to write the solicitor exam came again. I packed my things, went to Toronto to write the exam, did the whole cycle, blah blah blah, came back to London. I wrote the 2 exams, and then the results for this one came out quick. I think it came out in April. Yes, I remember how the result came out. So I was in the office, I was working, doing some things, doing some research, and one of my friends called me. I was like, oh, what's up, how you doing? It was like, results are out. Hey, God. Whew. And I was like, have you checked? And she was like, no, I haven't checked, I'm so scared. I was like, oh my God, I'm scared, I can't fail. If I fail, I'm going to lose this job. Oh my God, like I can't fail. I was ranting, and we're like, okay, let's check. I was like, check, you check. So we both agreed to check, and then she checked hers and then sent me a text and said, oh my God, Moyo, I passed. I was like, congratulations, I'm so happy for you, congratulations. And then my heart was beating. Another friend called me, results are out. I was like, hey, have you checked? She said yes. How was it? She said she failed. She had failed both the barrister and solicitor. I felt really bad. I was like, oh my God, I hope I'm not going to fail both again. My heart was really beaten, and I almost had a panic attack. I swear, I almost had a panic attack, because another friend called me and said, have you seen your results? I was like, no. It was like, I just checked, I passed. I was so happy, mixed feelings. I was happy and scared, and then all of a sudden I couldn't breathe. True story, guys, true story. I couldn't breathe. I said, I almost had a panic attack. I couldn't work again. It was like 3:30 in the afternoon. I was done for the day. Once it was 4:30, packed my bags. I went straight to McDonald's. I got ice cream, junk food. I was like, you know what? If I check and I pass, we're gonna celebrate with some junk food. If I don't pass, I'm going to cry and stress eat some junk food. That was my rationale. So I went home, I took a shower, my body was hot, my temperature was hot. You guys think it's just an exam, but it was crazy. It was crazy, because that was the last step for me before I could get called to the bar. So it meant it was such a big deal. I started ringing, my friend was calling me, Moyo, have you checked? This was like probably 8 hours after the results came out. I was like, I haven't checked, I'm so scared. And she was like, girl, check, what is wrong with you? And so I turned off my phone, turned off the lights. I'm not joking, I know it was very dramatic. And so I checked. I finally just clicked on it. and I saw barrister pass, I was excited. And then I saw solicitor fail. Mixed feelings, guys, mixed feelings. I had passed the barrister exam, I had failed the solicitor exam. I was excited, but at the same time I was like, God, I know what this means. I'm going to lose this job. I'm going to have to write the solicitor exam again in June and wait to be called in September. They would definitely hire another lawyer before then. What the hell am I going to be doing from May when I finish my articling placement until September when I get called? Oh God. So many things were going through my mind. I was crushed. I was confused. I didn't know what to do. Immediately I called my parents and I told them that I had passed one and I had failed the other one. They were very concerned about my well-being because they knew what that meant for me, and they just encouraged me. My parents, you guys are the real MVP. I love you guys so much. They supported me all through. And I legit went through the 5 stages of grief. Obviously not in that moment, but I think for the next 1 month or 2 months, I was just really sad, and I just couldn't understand how I had failed the first time and now I was failing the second time. It was just too much for me to handle. And now I started thinking, how am I going to tell my boss? And before then, right, there was a lot of pressure because my boss kept asking me, oh, is your results out? Everybody around me, they kept asking. Church, everybody knew I wrote the exam. My friends, colleagues at work, is the results out? When is the result coming out? Everybody already knew. So I was like, how the hell am I going to go to work and tell them that I passed one and I failed one? They're probably going to think I'm a failure. People are going to look at me some type of way. People are going to think I'm not serious enough. People are going to think I didn't read enough. I said, grappling with all those thoughts in my mind. And like I said, I went through the 5 stages of grief. I'm not joking. The first one was anger. I was so angry about how I failed this exam again. I was like, how? What did I do wrong? What is going on with me? Am I not good enough? What is happening? And I questioned my abilities so much. I questioned my potentials. I just thought I wasn't really good enough. And after I was angry, I moved from anger to denial. So once you fail the bar exam, they send you a failure report. They send you some form of report. It is not as detailed as the NCA failure report. I've spoken about the NCA failure reports in one of my video. I'll put the link to that video in the description box. But this one just gives you the percentage of the percentage you got in each course. So when I got my report, I did well. Honestly, to me, I did well. I think it was just the real estate exam. I had maybe, I've forgotten the percentage I had, but when I got it, I was angry. Then I started denying. I was like, I did well. This is not my score. This is not my report. Guys, it was crazy. This is not my report. I refused to accept it. And so I sent an email to the Law Society saying that they should explain to me how I failed. My percentages were good. What did they mean that I failed? Like they should explain how the thing is being graded. And they responded by saying that, a computer does the whole grading, and the computer was obviously right. And the Law Society will not even tell you the pass mark. There's literally no pass mark. They don't tell you how they grade. I don't know how they do it, but I guess it's a mystery. So they explained that the computer did the grading and the computer couldn't have been wrong. And so after I denied my results, I finally got to the acceptance stage. So the denial and the bargaining stage came together, right? Because I denied my results. I was trying to bargain with the Law Society, and they were like, listen, girl, that was your results, right? So after that, I slipped into depression. And this thing might sound very vague and very dramatic, but again, I hope, someone who is watching this or someone who is listening to this can just get an assurance from this video that there is hope, and there is no need to, it is okay, honestly, it is okay to feel sad, be frustrated about everything, but just know that you shouldn't give up and you should just keep pushing at it, because the next time might just be the final time, right? So I slipped into depression and I was depressed and I wasn't picking anybody's calls. That's usually what I do, and honestly, that's what happens when most times when you fail or when things don't go your way, you just withdraw into your shell and you don't want to talk to anybody. And that was the same thing that happened for me, right? And after I was depressed for a long time, I finally accepted my result. I finally accepted that, listen, you failed, and you must have failed because you did something wrong. It's fine, it's okay, right? So after I finally accepted, I remember I went to work the next day and I went to meet the lawyer. I was on another rotation, so I went to meet the lawyer in charge. I went into her office just saying that, hi, can I like take some time off? I'm not in the best place right now. And she was like, darling, what's the problem? And I broke down. Oh my god. Thinking about it, I was like, what was wrong with you, girl? I broke down and I started crying. I was bawling. I was like, oh my god. I checked my result yesterday. I'm not joking. And I cried. And she was like, oh my god, darling, oh my god. And she got me tissue and she was like, oh my god, take all the time you need. It's fine. And I was just crying. I remember going to the washroom. I was trying to text somebody. I started bawling. Someone else entered the washroom. I was like, are you okay? Are you okay? I just kept quiet because I wasn't ready to have any conversation with anyone. So it really messed with me. It messed with my productivity. It messed with everything. The biggest thing for me was, what was I going to be doing from May, after my article placement ends, until September? I didn't want to do no Tim Hortons job. I'm not saying that doing working at Tim Hortons is bad. I'm just saying that I just didn't want to do that because I felt like I had gotten to a place where the next stage for me was supposed to be getting called to the bar. I just didn't want to do that. And I also felt like I was going to lose the job. I wasn't going to have any job and all of that. So it was time for me to have the tough conversation with my boss. I sent him an email and said, hey, can you please let me know when you're in your office, or come by my office so I can discuss something with you about my grades, or my results are in, or something. So he came by my office. He was very excited. How you doing? Like, okay, hit me, let me hear the news. So I told him that my results are out. I passed the barrister exam. He was so excited. I was like, yes, I knew you could do it. I knew you could do it. I was like, but I failed the solicitor exam. And then I started bawling. And then he was like, no, don't cry, it's fine. Like, I'm sure you put in so much. I'm sure you tried your best. It's okay. We understand. We've seen you study hard. You're a very hardworking girl. We know that you do not take things for granted. It's fine. It's okay. These things happen. And besides, the bar exams are not even a true test of knowledge, right? So don't beat yourself up about it. It's okay. And I was crying, and he was like, I know you're worried about your job. I know that you are worried about what is going to happen to you from here. Don't worry about it. Just write to Law Society and tell them that once you're done with your article placement, you want to continue. So there's something the Law Society has. I think you can extend your articling until you get called to the bar. I've forgotten, but there's something like that. So they said, write to them. I think there's something like that in place. Why don't you find out about it? And if it is allowed, I promise you that you can continue working and you will still keep getting paid here with us until you get called to the bar. I thought I was dreaming. I was like, somebody pinch me. And then he went further to say that if that doesn't work out, it's fine. We'll look for a position. We speak to HR and we'll look for a position for you here that you can keep working at until you get called to the bar. I thought I was dreaming. He didn't just stop there. He said that, don't worry, you are going to write this exam again in June, and we trust that you're going to pass. We'll give you some time off to study. Once you're done with your article placement, take as much time as you need. Go and study, and once you're done, come back, continue working with us until you get called to the bar. We trust you and we believe in you. Oh my God. I'm sorry, I'm being really dramatic, but I was like, what? I was so worried about the job, and I just, it was, sorry, I'm speechless now, I'm blabbing, but I didn't see that coming. I wasn't expecting it. And to think that someone else believed so much in me, I think that was the push I needed to just keep going, right? And so my dad called me and said, you have to give this exam again, this exam another try in June. I told him, I was like, you know what, no, I don't want to write it in June. I'll just take some time off. I probably lost the job anyways. I'll just write it again in November, take a year off, do some other things. I already gave up. But after my boss said that, I was like, okay, I think I need to do this again. And it wasn't child's play, right? Writing the exam again, having to go through another 7 hours of torture. You know, so but I felt that was what I needed to do. So the first thing I did was to take some time off. I finished my airplane placement in May, and then I think I traveled for like 2 weeks. I traveled to Mexico with my girlfriends. I like, let's go to Mexico. I traveled to Mexico. We had the most amazing time of our lives. From Mexico, I went to the US for a wedding. I went to visit this friend. I went to visit that friend. I really traveled. And then I came back and I was like, you know what? It is me and you this exam. And the fact that I also wasn't working was perfect because it gave me so much time to study. I had like 3 weeks to study before the exam. So I studied. The Law Society also provided me with a free tutorial. So once you fail, you have the option of picking, I think, 5 hours of tutorial for any of the courses you feel less prepared for. And so I did that. I had a like 40-minute tutorial on tax. I didn't need real estate because that was being covered at work. And sometimes when you just pass this exam once, you don't even know what strategies you used. Sometimes it's just out of luck. But because I failed it twice, I was able to master the strategies that I used to pass, and I was able to do some things differently, and I will share those things with you guys in a separate video. So the place where I wrote the exam was just 10 minutes away from my house, so I was able to get to the exam hall on time, and I was very settled. I wasn't as stressed as when I was writing it in Toronto, because in Toronto there are so many people writing the exams. In London they didn't have a lot of people, and I was the only black person in the hall. Yeah, so a lot of people there went to Western. They all knew each other sort of, so I was kind of the only person standing out there. But anyways, that doesn't really matter. So I went there. It was chill. During the break, I had the opportunity to go back home, you know, to have lunch and to come back. It was really nice. This time was nice. I was well relaxed. I was not stressed, right? So I wrote the exam, and it took so long for the results to come out this time. I think the results came out in August. So June, July, everybody kept asking me, when is your exam coming? When is your result coming out? When is your result coming out? And finally the result was out in August. And I don't even remember how I checked. Okay, yes, I remember. So again, a friend sent me a text, results are out. My friends are always getting the memo before I do. And so I went home, panic attack. I was scared, you know, turned off my phone. I sent my mom a text, results are out. I'm too scared to check. They're like, go, just check. And so I checked, and finally I passed. I passed, and I was so excited. I was like, thank God, thank you, God, thank God, finally I passed. Thanks to all my friends, you know, I reached out to all of them and just saying thank you, I passed. It was a huge celebration. We're excited. I went back to work, you know, saying I passed. They're like, yes, welcome to the team, welcome to our team. They're very excited for me. Like, even at the solicitors meeting, you know, they were like, guess who passed her bar exam? Like, hey, it was nice. It was very nice. And I was just you know, thankful for the journey and thankful for the experiences, because I promise you, I learned so many things along the way. I learned so many things, and I did some things differently, and I'll just share with you guys the things that I did differently that helped me pass the second time. So in case you're watching and you have failed, you can incorporate some of these things. So the first thing was, I started exercising, I started sleeping well, eating well. So the first 2 times when I failed, I wasn't sleeping well, I wasn't eating well, I wasn't exercising. I was so stressed, you know. But when I passed the last time, I was well relaxed, I was less stressed. So I would just say, you know, start exercising, start doing things that you love to do, you know, once in a while, hang out with your friends, call your friends and family. I know we all want to study, but sometimes doing these things can just take your mind off studying, which can become very exhausting after a while. I reached out to lawyers who had failed the exam before, because everybody around me was passing, but the second time some other people failed. But I reached out to people who had been through that experience so they could share their experiences with me, right? And they let me know that it's okay. If you fail, it's fine. You redo it and you'll come out stronger. Don't let that be the end of everything. Don't give up because you just failed once, or because you failed twice, or even because you failed 3 times. Just keep at it. So I would say surround yourself with people that will hype you up. I had the best hype system around me. My parents were my hype people, my friends, people at work, church members. People were hyping me up. People were encouraging me and telling me, you can do it, you can do it. If you surround yourself with negative people saying that you've written this thing more than 3 times, I think you should just give up. I don't think this law career is meant for you. I think you should try something else. I think you should become an engineer, right? By the way, you can only write the bar exams 3 times. You don't want to surround yourself with people who will always discourage you. You also want to take advantage of the resources that the Law Society has provided for you. So the Law Society, like I said, they gave me a report that showed a breakdown of the percentages I had in each of the courses. So take advantage of this tutorials. You'll be speaking to lawyers who are practicing that area of law, and they'll be able to explain it very well to you. I did that. I think you only have 4 hours, so you can say 2 hours for civil litigation, 1 hour for criminal, and the last hour for public law. However you want to split the hours. Also reach out to other people who are currently writing the bar exam. They have bar exam groups on Facebook. Make sure you reach out to those people. I found some of my study buddies on that group, people that we are still friends, till today. I found some of them on that group. So reach out to people on this group, study with them, ask them for materials, ask them for their study techniques, and I'm sure you will come out fine. But this was a very, very, very long video and my back hurts right now, so I'm going to wrap up this video. But I hope you guys really learned a lot from this video, and I hope my story and my experience encouraged someone, even if it was just one person, right, who watched this video. And I just want to tell you that even if you failed, your failure doesn't define you. You are different from your failure. Failing is a step to getting to where you're supposed to be, and don't let that discourage you. If I count how many times I have failed in my life, I will probably lose count. If I count how many times I have gotten rejected from articling positions, or from jobs, or from anything in life, right, I will probably lose count. But if I let that stop me, I wouldn't be where I am today. So I'm just trying to tell you that keep going, keep at it, and you will be happy that you didn't stop when you failed. NCA Startup Hack is now available for download for only 10 USD. Kindly click on the link below to download your copy. This ebook is for you if you are thinking of becoming licensed to practice law in Canada, or you have actually started the process of becoming licensed to practice law in Canada. In this ebook, you will learn that you don't have to be a lawyer to be eligible to apply to the NCA. You will learn the different pathways to writing the NCA exams. You will learn about immigration and requalification. You will also learn about Canadian universities that offer scholarships for LLM programs. You will learn what to include in your NCA resume so that you can be assessed with the right number of courses. You will learn how to reduce the number of NCA exams you can be assessed with. And you will also learn what to do if you get a 1-year postgraduate work permit after your graduate program, and if you can also complete the licensing process in 1 year while you have a 1-year postgraduate work permit, and so many more. This ebook is packed with information, so make sure you click on the link below to download your copy. If you're here to subscribe, kindly like, comment, share this video, and I hope to see you guys in the next episode of Ask Mo. Bye.